Here we begin looking at the Arizona Next-Gen 911 address management solution and the splitting lines template tool. We will learn how to split lines utilizing the split line feature class template to streamline the Next-Gen 911 data creation and maintenance. This is going to assume that you've already downloaded the desktop template from AZGeo and have opened the Pro project, appended your local data set, and we can begin doing some complex editing utilizing the split tool. So first, let's look at what's under the hood for the split lines feature class template tool. Here you can see that the data source is actually the road center line feature class in the NG911 GIS data model for Arizona in the address management solution. We also open up the data design features. Let's take a look at some of the attribute rules that are utilized in the split lines editing tool. You'll notice the key one is the split intersecting roads attribute rule. This rule will split intersecting roads at their intersection, and the address ranges will be updated to reflect where this split occurred. This function calculates new to and from addresses based on the percentage along the line where the split occurred, and it splits a road using another road and returns an array of two roads. The function also utilizes reference data sets in the data model in order to populate the left and right fields that new segment falls within. Now we're going to just take a look at the attribute table for this split lines feature class. You'll notice they're kind of unique. Those are set in place in order to properly allow the split function to occur. So go ahead and leave those as the default. Here, just a quick demo, you'll see that as I cross one segment or intersect that segment with the split lines tool, the line is split and the attribute rule that we just reviewed recalculates the address range and populates the fields that are relevant to that segment. So we can get a little wild here and split this segment up multiple times. And you'll see, because the road center lines and the split lines are both referencing the same data set, any splits that occur in the split line tool using that tool will be applied to the same feature class because they're the same data set in the FileGeo database. So I can look up that new NGUID that was created from that split and see or review the attributes that were applied, reviewing the address ranges as well. We can update the address ranges if we find that some of the calculation from the attribute rule didn't necessarily account for all the addresses along that segment, and save those changes. So it is very important after utilizing this tool, you review the data and be sure that everything aligns with what your intention was and is correct. So we'll save those splits in the data set, and let's just say we realized actually what we want to do is utilize the tool to correct some segments in our data set that have been maybe overly split or were split and the address range was not reassigned. We can merge those segments, looking to preserve the to and from all the way across that segment. So in this case, we're looking at the left to address to be 716 and the right to address to be 717. With those segments that we split now joined as one whole segment, accounting for the left address ranges 182 to 716 and the right accounting for 181 to 717. What we can do now is use that split tool to help streamline the readdress ranging for those segments. We simply snap to the intersection where we want the road center line to be split, and the attribute rules then recalculate the road segment address ranges based on the percentage of the segment that's remaining when split. Here you can see I'm doing the review process, ensuring that all of the address points that are along that segment are accounted for in the new address range or 100 ranges that were assigned from that automated process. I noticed that the left 2 address is only going to 428, so we're going to update that to account for 442 Solomon Road. We also want to update the right 2 address because of that 475 East Solomon Road address point. We continue down this road segment to ensure that we're accounting for all of the address points around the road. We have to be sure that we do not have any gaps on the address range for each segment. So I'm going to update the left from address to 444, since that would be the next value in the segment 100 range. The right from address will also need to be updated based on the change that I made to 477, aligning the next road segment on the address range and not creating any gaps or overlaps in those values. For review, we learned how to utilize the split lines tool in the address management solution. We repaired road centerline segments that were split and not given the proper address ranges. And we learned a little bit about assigning address ranges. If you'd like to learn more or take a deeper dive into the Arizona NextGen 911 address management solution, take a look at our video called Getting Started. Be mapping.